Hey, welcome back to Depew Shop. This is a new series, 7 parts, and we're going to be showing you a slideshow of all the past builds I did before I was at YouTube. So at least I can share with you guys some builds that I did and hopefully inspire you. This particular video is going to be about Restomod Mountain Bikes. So sit back and enjoy the slideshow. I'm going to talk a little bit about every bike that I did, hopefully keeping one bike per minute so it'll be nice and quick, won't bore you. But I hope, like I said, my goal is to inspire you on your next builds and at least enjoy looking at some cool old bikes. So let's get started. All right, so our first bike for this video series is a Cannondale Killer V. And I set this up as a 1x9, and it had a lot of good stuff on it. I put some brand new Dior brakes on it. I got this Dior front chainring, XT rear mech. There's XTR hubs. The radial spokes. I love radial spokes on wheels. I think they look so cool. But the dark green color and the black, it just made the bike look really cool. And there again, this one was a little small for me, so it moved on to a new owner. But it was a cool build, and I really enjoyed it. I have a thing for old Cannondales too. On to another Cannondale Killer V. This one was polished by someone else. Thank God it wasn't me. But I did pick this one up. Got the pepperoni forks. This one again, this was a 1x10 or 9. I think this was a 1x10. The unique thing about this one, though, is it had carbon rims. And that takes special brake pads when you're talking about rim brakes. But this was definitely a highline build. It's very light. I remember this thing being close to 20 pounds when it was done. And it was kind of my first thought on, hey, why does it have to have knobby tires? Let's put some of these Maxxis DTHs on them and see how it goes. All right, here's a Gary Fisher Hoo Cooey Coo. And this one is beautiful little Restomod here. It's a 1x10. I think it's a Dior setup that I did on this. But got the wider bars, shorter stem, and a Dior setup for a 1x10 drivetrain and some new tires. And that transformed this bike from kind of blah to extraordinary. Really big bike, but I sold it to a guy who was a really big guy. He loved it, thought it was perfect, and got him into mountain biking on the cheap. And pretty cool Restomod. All right, here's another Gary Fisher. This is a Joshua full suspension bike. And I replaced the front and rear suspension shocks. So with some other cheap Amazon stuff, but they work great. Air shocks. Also converted it from V brakes to disc brakes. And add a little bit wider bars, narrower stem. Overall, this bike was transformed to a proper mountain bike again. Of course, geometry is still old-fashioned, but it had a 1x11 drivetrain. It was SRAM NX that I had borrowed from an older bike that I had. And overall, very cool Restomod. Here's a Gary Fisher Wahoo that I just had the frame for alone, and basically a parts bin build along with new tires, grips, fork. Still 3x7, but the way this thing was set up, man, it was the smoothest riding bike I ever had. It was just like butter. Even though it had the aluminum frame, this was a really solid, we'll call it old vintage mountain bike to commuter conversion. All right, now if you're into old mountain bikes, a Nishiki Alien with an elevated rear chainstay is definitely on your bucket list. And also those Tangy forks. This thing was such a cool build. I call it Restomod because I did put modern XT. It was actually a 2x9 setup on that, along with some Dior brakes and so forth, and some really nice wheels with the radial spokes and so forth. But I know these things they're prone to crack, the aluminum ones, but this one was in good shape, and it was definitely a cool bike to have go through the shop. Here's a smoky chrome Schwinn Sierra that I just did a real simple 1x7 conversion into a commuter bike. So taking a mountain bike that's useless and turning it into a simple commuter bike. This is probably my first one I did that was just kind of plain and simple, low budget, just some new tires and seat and some grips and things. Overall, turned out pretty cool. All right, so if you've been watching my channel, you've probably seen this bike before. This is how I got it. It was a really cool painted specialized Hardrock, and I wanted to make this into a kind of a cool little hard trail bike, I guess we'll call it, and put a 1x9 micro shift setup on it along with some V brakes and some nice aggressive tires. But as you know, like I said, I did do a conversion of this exact bike, the way you see it, to a commuter in another video you can see if you search my channel. But I just wanted to share with you how this transformation happened. All right, this next one I got for 20 bucks. Mountain Track 820. I think you've seen a million of these things, but this was in bad shape. That rear wheel was bent to non-repairable. But I did a parts bin build, turned it into a nice 1x7 commuter, and kind of went a little crazy with the brown accents. I don't know. I think it turned out kind of cool. This one did go to a college student, and they were totally excited about it. And I can imagine if I had something this nice to commute in college, that'd be really nice. But another nice 1x7 mountain bike conversion. So as we finish this up, I'm just going to blast through these pictures one more time real quick. But doing mountain bike resto mods to me is probably the funnest thing. These bikes give you the freedom and the ability to do just about anything your imagination can come up with. It's my creative outlet. That's why I share it on YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's these bikes are kind of like, they're just pieces of me after they're done with it. There you go. I hope you liked it. Hope it inspired you. Hope you liked the builds. Preferably, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments about what you saw. Also, there's links in the description below with my website and any kind of product links of stuff that I've used in the past. And we'll see you on the next video. All right, bye.